Doing my sister's wedding. Hi, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you what I'm doing for my own sister's wedding. Now you know if my hair's up and I have my apron on, I'm serious and we're getting to work. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make all these pieces, large ceremony arrangements, bridesmaids bouquets, centerpieces, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all set up at the venue, and I'm going to be the maid of honor. Hi, my name is Katherine Bergman. I'm a florist with over 30 years experience designing weddings and events, and finally, I'm doing my own sister's wedding. Are you ready? Let's get started. So the first piece I'm going to show you are the low centerpieces. We're going to be doing 10 low centerpieces for this wedding. And we're using not a lot of elements, but large, expensive flowers. So I've greened in with Pittosporum, ivy, as well as Italian ruscus to have it cascade on the table. So the containers we're using are square glass containers. I lined it with a gold wrap that's designed for as a vase wrap, and we have a half a block of floral foam in this. And we're going to start with hydrangeas. I've got a variety of pink and blush hydrangeas, and that's just going to do a lot of the work for you to make this a very lush and full arrangement. And I chose hydrangeas because, first of all, they fill in space nicely, and they're gorgeous right now. And also because I wanted a large enough flower so that we don't have so many stem insertions, and that will compete nicely with the peonies. So I'm just putting some hydrangeas in here. Good. I bought such beautiful hydrangeas at market this week. They're huge stems with multiple branches on each. So we're just going to put in a lot of hydrangeas to fill in space and to make this look really lush and full. Sort of the look I'm going for, something very lush and full with a little bit of greenery peeking through, not a lot of different elements, but just really showcasing the hydrangeas and our large, beautiful peonies that I purchased. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrangeas in here. Then we're going to add in these gorgeous peonies. We're going to use 6 stems per centerpiece. I bought these over 2 weeks ago. I ordered them to make sure I get them for this wedding. And I cold store them in my refrigerator. We bought over 200 stems of peonies for this wedding. It's going to be a very, very luxurious wedding. Just adding the peonies in. And basically I wanted a centerpiece that looked really lush and luxurious without a ton of stem insertions, so that, you know, I'm working an hour on each centerpiece. This comes together really quickly. And like I told you before in one of my videos on how to do centerpieces for your own wedding, keep the ingredients simple. Better to have large, expensive flowers and fewer stems than too many flowers of all sorts. We're adding in this beautiful rose called Pink Expression. It's a garden rose, looks like a David Austin, but it's huge. Just going to add that in. You saw me pull those apart because I wanted to see the quarter centers. You can just pull your roses apart a little bit, depending on the rose. These roses are tough. They have over 100 stems, 100 petals per stem. Beautiful swirls of petals. And it competes nicely with the hydrangeas and our peonies. So it's basically done. I'm going to add a little bit of greenery in between because we have so much of the same color. I think some of this pop of fresh green will set it off nicely. This is mini Pittosporum. Most of the greenery, except for the ruscus, was grown in my garden. I have all this greenery in the garden, so I might as well use it, right? So I'm putting a little bit of the Pittosporum throughout the arrangement. I like that pop of fresh green in here. I think it's really pretty. And it sort of gives you a little bit of space between the hydrangeas and the peonies, which all are pink. So there's a reason why I want to add a pop of this fresh green in here to kind of separate out from separate out the different elements in the arrangement. And this is more of an accent greenery, different from the greenery we use to kind of fill in the space. Okay, just a little here and there. As the little tiny leaves of Pitosmas are so pretty. I love the pale green with the pinks. And the only filler I'm going to be using in here are these Love in a Mist buds. The Love in a Mist have come and gone in the garden, but I have hundreds, not thousands of these buds, and they're very effective in this arrangement. Gives you a little bit of a gardeny feel. Just a little bit in here because we have so many large, heavy looking flowers. Something that's a little wispy that will loosen up the arrangement a little. And I think that we're pretty much done. You see how quickly it comes together when you're using large flowers. Now, this is a pretty expensive centerpiece in terms of materials, but hey, it's my sister's wedding, so we got to go all out. But I did not have to spend a lot of money on filler flowers, which could add up. So it's easier to calculate how many stems of each thing you need when you've got large flowers. So it looks like I have 6 stems of peonies, 6 stems of hydrangeas, 3 of the really large English style roses called Pink Expression, greenery, a few sprigs of the Love and Mist buds, and some Pittosporum. And we have a luxurious, flush, full arrangement, very expressive of spring. So I wanted to show you what the tall centerpieces are going to look like. So we're going to have 17 tables at this event, and we're going to do 7 of these tall arrangements. I actually have this frame lit with fairy lights. I don't think you can see it. I could turn them on, but it's too bright out here. But at night, when it's dark, this whole frame will be lit with fairy lights, and we've got another big arrangement at the base. The arrangement at the base is pretty much the same as these arrangements in the vases, except I put more greenery that cascades out further to kind of anchor this cage. And it has the same number of flowers in there. It's in a different mechanic. It's in a low gold tray with 2/3 block of floral foam in it taped down. And I thought this was an interesting way to use these gold cages that I have. Now, for a while, these have been very popular, these geometric gold cages, and we do arrangements on top. I never really liked the look of the arrangements on top of here, but I like how this is sort of modern and glam at the same time, because there's going to be a square chandelier that comes down on the dance floor, and I thought these arrangements around the dance floor, perimeter of the dance floor, would be really effective. So that's what we're doing for the wedding, and you'll see it all set up. So we're going to have 7 of these around the dance floor and 10 of these on the other tables for a total of 17 arrangements. Okay, so the next piece I'm going to show you is a ceremony arrangement. We're going to do a pair of these, but I'm just going to show you one, but of course I'll show you how it's going to be set up in the ceremony. What I have done here is, this is a mache container. We often use these heavy-duty mache containers that are liners to put inside props. We're going to put this inside a dark urn with a matching column for the ceremony. So right now what you're seeing is just the mache. And I've greened in pretty heavily with Pittosporum and ivy for a very lush, full look. And it's going to be a one-sided arrangement because we're going to use it for the ceremony, and then we're going to move it to behind the wedding party table during the reception. But in neither scenario are we going to see the back of it. So I decided we would do a one-sided arrangement and in sort of a crescent shape, so it's more modern and more interesting than just your usual church-looking arrangement. Now, I wasn't able to get any real cherry blossoms because we are in the second week of June. And so I have 4 stems of faux cherry blossom that I'm going to use in here. And then we're going to use these to set the long lines. Okay. And the pair of crescents I have are going to be facing away from each other. So We're going to make one that has a taller accent on the right side and another one with a taller accent on the left side, so that we have two different dimensions to our ceremony arrangements. And I think that's going to make it look very high-end too. I have 4 blocks of floral foam in here. Usually I use design blocks, but I didn't have any design blocks right now. So design blocks are just really large pieces of floral foam that we use for ceremony arrangements. And I was unable to get any design blocks this time, so we're just going to use 4 blocks of floral foam. Okay. We're setting the lines of the crescent with our cherry blossoms. I like how wild it looks and how the branches, it just adds so much. You see how the greenery didn't look like a lot, and once we add the branches, it looks like a lot more. And then I've got tons and tons of hydrangeas, so I'm going to go ahead and add hydrangeas to this. I have light pink and hot pink hydrangeas. And the floral foam blocks I have in here are protruding above the container. And that's how you can get it to cascade over the lip of the container, is if you have the floral foam blocks above your container. That's one of the tricks, design tricks that you need to know. If you want a lush arrangement and not see the container, have it cascade over, make sure your floral foam is above the lip of your container. Adding a few stems of the hot pink hydrangeas. I'm going to turn around so you can see what we have so far. See how when you're using large elements, these large arrangements come together really easily? We continue adding hydrangeas to this. I love these big, beautiful, multi-branched hydrangeas. So you have a combination of large and small blooms. Sometimes I like to put some in the back of an arrangement so that it peeks through the greenery, so that you have more three-dimensionality to your arrangement. And let's add some of these darker hydrangeas. So lucky to get these multi-branched large hydrangeas. They are spectacular for big arrangements. Often I'll buy tall flowers like larkspur or delphinium for these big arrangements, but in this one I wanted the lines to be set by these flowering branches instead, so I did not want to do the vertical elements that kind of interrupts that line. If that makes sense. Okay, this is what we have right now with the hydrangeas. And I'm going to add in the peonies. I'm going to add in about 8 stems of peonies in this beautiful hot pink or Barbie pink. And these peonies will get bigger because I just took them out of the refrigerator. So when they first come out of the fridge, they're still a little bit tight. I made a video all about how to time your peonies. And I did buy these peonies almost 2 weeks ago because I was afraid that we wouldn't be able to get some this week. And I was right. There aren't as many peonies this week. So I bought them almost 2 weeks ago, ordered them, cold store them, and now they're ready to use. If you cold store your peonies and don't put them in water, you dry store them in your walk-in refrigerator or regular refrigerator, then you can keep them for several weeks unbloomed if you need to extend that peony season. I know it seems really crazy to buy these gorgeous peonies, which are very expensive, and to just not put them in water. But as soon as you cut the stem and put it in water, the peonies start to bloom. And once they bloom, the blooms don't last super long. And so that's one of our tricks, is to extend our peony season by cold storing it dry. We're going to add a few stems of these pink expression roses, big showy roses. I think I have 4 stems of these pink expression roses for the large arrangement. Oh, I have 5 stems, sorry. Once again, not a lot of fussy small elements in here. Just kind of keeping it lush and full. Okay, and as a accent filler flower, I have this pretty ballet pink dianthus. This is dianthus is just carnation, and this is a single carnation, and it's actually really beautiful. I'm going to pinch out the imperfect buds, and they are sprays, almost like spray roses, but instead of spray roses, I thought this is kind of different, and we'll use this instead. Let me turn it around to let you see that we've got pretty much the outline of our large arrangement already. We're just adding in some filler flowers like the Queen Anne's lace as well as the dianthus. I'm going to keep adding the dianthus. I like this because the color is very pretty and it's got an airiness that kind of loosens all these large round form flowers that we have in here. It's kind of what filler flowers for, is just to provide a little contrast and airiness to the large form flowers that you use. And this is the only flower that's relatively inexpensive in here. Got to go all out, right? I only have one sister. It's her wedding. It's a long time coming. So we got to go all out. Okay, we added in all our ballet pink dianthus, and the only thing left are the Queen Anne's lace here. Beautiful Queen Anne's lace, super long stems. I bought it thinking I would need such long stems, but I don't really need it this long, so I'm going to cut them down a little bit. Let me find some nice big heads here. Okay, I think I'll just take them out. I'm growing Queen Anne's lace. Mine are just starting, but I sow the seeds of Queen Anne's lace with cosmos seeds, and the cosmos taken off so quickly that I feel like it's choking back my Queen Anne's lace. I'll let you know if I get any. The cosmos seeds I purchased were so healthy, almost too healthy. Like, they grew so aggressively and so quickly. I can't wait till they start blooming. It's a mix of colors, so we'll see what colors they come out as. This Queen Anne's lace is so nice. The stems are really, really nice and rigid, easy to add into your arrangement even after we've added so many elements. And I love the look of the Queen Anne's lace. Once again, it lends a romantic, sort of airy and softer feel to our arrangement. And that's basically what I wanted. You know, it's June, it's a early summer, late spring wedding. I just want everything to be romantic and cheerful and happy and very bridal. And my sister just kind of let me do whatever. I think she absolutely trusts me on my choices. And so it's really special to be doing this for her. Once again, I'm adding some towards the back to give the arrangement some three-dimensionality. You have some of this light, airy Queen Anne's lace peeking through from the back. Cut a nice tall stem here. Has a seed pod, which is beautiful too. You know, I see Queen Anne's lace around here growing just wild by the road. I'm hoping that'll happen for me this year here. I mean, it doesn't even get water. It gets so hot and dry here in the summer. I see Queen Anne's lace just growing wild in fields around here. I figure it's really easy to grow if my cosmos don't choke it out. I'm going to stand back and assess, make sure I don't add too many pieces of the lace, because it's such a big arrangement. You could just keep adding and adding and adding, right? Okay, I think we're done. I'm going to move this. You can see this in all its glory. This is the large ceremony arrangement. We're going to have a pair of this, one in this orientation, the other one's going to be in this orientation, and it's going to be in beautiful antique inspired urns on top of tall columns for the ceremony. It's going to be gorgeous. Okay, the next item I'm going to show you are the bridesmaids bouquets. We have 6 bridesmaids. We're all wearing black, and I thought these hot pinks would be great against black dresses. So very simple bouquets, hydrangeas and peonies. I have these pale blush tinged with a little bit of green hydrangeas here because I thought this lighter background would show off the peonies. And I'm using the hydrangeas just to form a bouquet. It's kind of a trick I often do if you want a clustered bouquet, to use hydrangeas like this to give you a form. Then it comes together really easily. You just put your peony in. I wanted a nice big sexy one here. Another one here, and I'm just kind of alternating the dark and light peonies a little bit. Doesn't really matter. For just a massed, clustered peony bouquet. Keeping it simple, not a lot, no accent flowers, just peonies and hydrangeas with a little bit of greenery. I think that'd be very pretty against our black dresses and not too fussy. And I have 7, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 peonies and 4 stems of hydrangeas. Okay, added the peonies in. Now I'm going to add in some of this pale green potassium. Just like the centerpieces, I want a little bit of this as separation. It's functioning almost as a filler flower. It's going to do apple blossom colored stalk, but you know, it just gets lost in the bouquet. So I thought the greenery actually showed up more because the apple blossom stalk is very similar to the color of the lighter peonies. Adding some greenery around the perimeter and then a little bit throughout the bouquet. Simple, elegant bouquets. Because we're all going to be wearing evening gowns. It's not going to be a too gardeny a wedding. It's going to be at 5 o'clock at night in the evening, and I'm wearing a black sequins gown. I'm very happy. My sister listened to me, and we all get to choose our own gowns. Just her only criteria was it has to be black and floor length, and so we can all wear whatever we want, whatever flatters us. So I'm just going to bind this with a 1-inch floral tape. A lot of florists use wire. I've always liked using floral tape because you don't have the bulkiness of wire, and this makes your stem a little smoother for when you do your ribbon wrap. So you go down to as long as you want your handle of the bouquet to be, and then I kind of double it up and do another pass with the tape up the bouquet. That'll make it a smoother handle. When you use wire, you're going to see the wire, so this is why I like the tape. And tape works great. You cut off your stems that are protruding out of there, and then you ribbon wrap. I have a pretty hot pink taffeta ribbon here. And it's double-sided, so there's no shiny side and dull side. And we're going to just wind it up. Start from the bottom and wind it up. Just like wrapping a tennis racket. I debated using a black ribbon since we're all wearing black dresses, but I thought the black ribbon looked a little somber and the hot pink was a little prettier. Cut it off. And then what I do is I fold the end of the ribbon in so you don't have a raw edge. And then you secure the whole thing with these short pearl pins. These are shorter than the regular boutonniere pins. And you secure your ribbon with it. And I go all the way down the handle of the bouquet. I do 5 pins in here. That way, during photos, going down the aisle, I've never had a bouquet unravel on me. I've made thousands of bouquets. And it's very pretty. It looks like a little row of pearl buttons. And we've got our hand-tied bridesmaid's bouquet. And what I do is actually I put it in water, and then the day of I will pour this water out and put like 1 inch or 2 of water on the bottom, put the bouquet in there, and keep it in water until we're ready to use. And that's why I feel good about using hydrangeas. Now, if you're going to be delivering bouquet to a hot outdoor wedding and you have no idea if they could stay in water, I would not recommend hydrangeas. But I know this situation, we're going to do an indoor ceremony and the bouquets will be in water until we're ready to go down the aisle. So that's why I use the hydrangeas. Here's our 6th bouquet. The wedding flowers came together beautifully for this event. If I were doing this wedding for a client, I would charge about $10,000 for a wedding of this scale. Well, that was a lot of work. I'm ready for a burrito and some Netflix. I hope you enjoyed watching me design the flowers for my sister's wedding and maybe learn something. As always, please like and subscribe and click the little bell to be notified when I put out a new video. Go out this week and treat yourself to some flowers, maybe not this much, because flowers are nature's little luxury. And I will see you in my next video.